Good evening, parents. This is Dr. Colosimo. You're coming not live, I should say, recorded from my office. And one of the things that parents and students generally dread is actually being inside of a principal's office. And I dread actually having to say this message to you tonight from this office. But I thought it was important that we talk frankly about kind of what's happening to us and what we're doing to try to deal with the situation and do the very best we can. And so just to begin to say that, over the last 11 days, while we've all been on spring break, we've had three big kinds of announcements and changes. And the first is, I hope you've heard by now, that Governor Herbert came out and basically moved school all the way to essentially the end of May. The bishop came out on the heels of that announcement and said that there'll be no school, brick and mortar school, through May 29th, which is our last day of school. And online schooling will continue, and we'll continue to do the very best we can to keep learning alive through the remainder of the school year. But those announcements back to back by Governor Herbert and Bishop Solis gave us some direction and some clarity as to what's going to happen after Easter. That's the first announcement. And then I think the very next day, the Utah High School Activities Association announced that all spring sports that we participate in are suspended, essentially will not happen for the remainder of the school year. And then the third thing, which we'll have to kind of see if this is a very moving target, is that both the federal government and the state governments came out with how to open up the economy. And so we're trying to process that information and understand what that means the best we can. To our understanding at this point tonight, Sunday night, is that schools would not be allowed to open in the first phase of a reopening. That the best we can hope for is a second phase. But I think what we're planning on is online education through the remainder of the school year. And so that brings us to, I just want to say this to parents and especially our students and especially our senior students, that we just feel so bad about this whole situation, and that we know how much students, especially seniors, look forward to the end of the year activities and how important it is for them and how important it is for our whole community to participate in these wondrous events. And so what I want to say about that is that it'll be different this year, but we will do everything we can in the Juan Diego way to keep our rituals and our traditions and our activities good. They might be different, they will be different, but they'll be unique and they will be of high quality. And students, you don't know what might happen, but this might end up being something that is although different, still really of high quality, and we're very, very committed to doing that. There'll be a baccalaureate of some kind. It'll be a different baccalaureate, but it will be the same baccalaureate quality that we all know and come to expect from Juan Diego. So I just want to say that. And then for all the students, just to know that the school year is going to end in a way that's different. So what ninth graders may not know any different, but underclassmen and seniors, what you know about how things end traditionally at Juan Diego are not going to end the exact same way. They're going to end in a different way, and we're making plans that hopefully we can announce later this week for what the senior graduation and end of the year activities are going to be all about. I'll look for that, parents and senior students. We're going to be sending out a survey on Monday for you to complete. We want to get some input from you about the end of the year activities, and we first of all wanted to talk to you to hear what your thoughts and ideas and feelings are about how we end the school year. So that'll be the first thing, and then we'll have more information hopefully by midweek about exactly what we plan to do with graduation and baccalaureate and end of the year rituals. For underclassmen, there are nuts and bolts things that some of you are aware of that or some maybe not be aware of, but we're trying to figure out how to distribute yearbooks. We're trying to figure out how to collect books and do end of the year examinations and all of those typical things that happen with underclassmen to wrap up the school year. And hopefully by the end of the week we have information for underclassmen, just like we'll have information for senior parents and students about the end of the year activities. And so I just kind of want to end by saying that I just feel really sorry about what's happened to us, and not just Juan Diego, but the United States of America and the world as a whole, that we've just living in a time of biblical proportions. It's almost kind of you could almost say it's something out of the Bible. We've had earthquakes and we've had tornadoes, and we now have a plague. And you read about that in the Bible, and you think, well, that just happened to people 5,000 years ago, and here we are today, living and breathing these same kinds of calamities that befell people for years and years and years. And I think in times like this, what you have to do is you have to resort to, the ties that bind. You have to get closer to your family and friends, and you have to regenerate your faith life, and you have to pray and ask for God's guidance and support and intervention, and keep your hope alive, keep your faith, and hopefully we'll come out of this as whole as we possibly can be, better as people as we possibly can be. And so thank you very much. Have a good evening. We will stay in touch with you and communicate with you on all these things that we've talked about tonight. Good night.